Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together. Alrighty, this is an impressive, amazing rainstorm.
Yes, it
like,
is.
just the heavy streaks of inky rain, as you know, because of the type of brush it is. Just amazing. I love the effect.
Right, okay.
It's not a kind exchange. It's one of equivalence, where we both gain what we want. I can make your research matter and poignant, and I'll help you be able to witness things you'll never be able to witness as a mere human. Oh God, are they going to exchange? Your peers and everyone that knows you won't matter. You'll be better than them, and they'll forget their mistakes they've done to you.
He hesitates, but a slight bit of light flickers in his eyes before he furrows his brows to think over my offer. Is this what it feels like to be excited? To have something to look forward to? It's been so long since I felt this way, and that causes me to become quiet. So I reach out silently to him, only the rain and the wind texturing the nothing between us. Then he reaches back, saying nothing.
Wait, it stopped? Oh no, okay, here we go.
Like life itself, the nature or the whims of fortune, and like mortals, not even gods make sense. How apt in this world where what makes sense and the unknown constantly collide with each other. There are many things to learn in those constant skirmishes you tend to be caught in, but without resilience or determination to weather these blows, it will whittle away at you until you become nothing. Nobody wants to be nothing. At least I know that now that I am able to let these thoughts swirl freely like the clouds on a sunny day. But I covet the rainy days too much to keep those thoughts in mind, and I covet time now more than ever to learn and relearn things I never would have had a chance to. How funny, then, for me to spend many of my days indoors from the outside rain. With him by my side, even the idealized scene in a painting of a perfect day feels inferior. But today is the day. After many days of deliberating since I could finally feel. I keep pushing it to later, even though that was his fault. To later, though that was his fault, not mine, and my fault for not faulting him. So I leave the coziness of the bed, the cast room reflecting painted images of myself and all the writings and research I've been able to do. Equipped only with my favorite cloth and parasol, I made my way to the place I was created.
And that's what I'm wondering, you did.
Do you just, replace the god?
That's what I was just saying. Well, okay, so at the very beginning, the god said, if you stay on this hill long enough, you'll become nothing. And then...
And I am the god of nothing.
And the god was like, I don't want all of this going on. I don't want all of this energy. I don't want all of this nonsense. I don't want to be here and in this capacity at all, really. And then you need something. You want something. And what it seems like the god wants is to not be.
Yeah.
And I can transfer myself or the title that is me, God of Nothing, to you.
Yeah.
And then I cannot exist.
That'd be great.
And you can have what you want by virtue of the power of me.
Right.
Which I assume expresses differently when you have a physical body.
I imagine so.
That sounds fascinating.
And here I am, once again, to the place that had created and whittled me, and created once again. And it was silent. So silent. So I decide to speak, since I know I am not alone now.
Look at that.
Oh no, you changed.
You just traded places.
Oh, dude.
And the God of Nothing took on the life and made the choices that you couldn't make and moved towards the things that you couldn't achieve and got the boyfriend that you wanted and all of it.
Yeah.
And went, you want that life? I will take your body and do that life. But again, it's a type of an exchange.
It's more than just I wanted to disappear. It's like I finally want to understand what the hell I'm doing, probably, too.
A level of if I'm going to be a part of this world, I don't want to just be a passive thing that is always confused and lost. That sort of genie that's only awake for the 3 wishes kind of thing.
Right.
And going, if you want all that shit, based on having seen all the context of your lives and your banter together and what you do and don't feel, I can do that. You know what? Since becoming human, I've learned many things. Did you know there's this common saying, it's always darkest before the dawn? The color swap is so profound. It exposits so much.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to not see the sunrise when I was tied to here. I'd be asleep for any of those dawns, never knowing how true the saying is. Though I guess it'd be impossible to see dawn through the rain like this.
Whoa! The Kinacridone poppies only bob in response, as if nodding. But it was only the flowers that look as if they were responding to me, because I am sure he does not want to face me right now.
The hair is amazing. The change of I've just done something different.
Mm-hmm.
You're angry at me, aren't you? I know you are. You always seem so to be. Or seem to be.
Sorry.
But at the very least, I want to thank you for allowing me to research and learn new things. It really was. Like, I mean, the way I'm interpreting it is I was this force that was here just existing as a piece of essentially nature in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then people started interacting with me because I couldn't not hear them. I couldn't not, with whatever senses that I have, be exposed to
I could not
them.
Not perceive.
Right. I couldn't. I do not see
perceive,
it.
yeah.
I do see it.
Yeah.
And going, and so it forced me to interact because I can't ignore the stimulus, that much stimulus.
Right.
And then going, but I could never ask questions. I could never really learn about the world in that capacity. But everyone was making demands in relation to a complex world.
Right.
And going, to learn new things. I just think that's really neat. I swear I will not let your hard work or your thoughts be taken for granted, so long as I covet them. And also going, you are this god, as it were, of wanting, of incredible desire and demand, according to the exposition, of going, more lives, more sacrifices. And at this point, you've sacrificed one life, as it were. Mm-hmm. But you're also sacrificing this incredible amount of knowledge and information. And the god themselves is just like, I will consume it. Because people have often described learning as a consumption process, you know?
Yeah.
And because I am grateful for what you have granted me, I have come to give you words so you won't suffer as much as I did. And the god in this case is the only one who understands the experience of being there under those conditions as the poppies, as it were. The hair is so fucking cool.
It is. It's awesome.
It's freaking cool.
Perhaps the rain got colder, and the more I talk, since I am still adjusting to this form, colder and the more I talk, got colder and the more...
I think it might be missing something a little bit.
I think it is, because like they changed their mind sort of partway through. So yeah, despite the cold, however, I fold the parasol and feel the brunt of ice-cold rain as I step forward, clutching my bag.
Don't think too much. That's what caused your tragedy. Everyone ever depressed gaze. I overthink things. Don't do that. I'm sorry. After all, I find that sleeping helps you think of nothing and passes the time. It also helps make the pain easier.
It also helps make...
I was to say, depression napping? I'm just hearing depression napping.
Me too.
You can get out of this if you desire, but don't forget the cost of happiness. You're not me, after all. Are you gonna turn around? I don't know if you will. I think that's part of the mystery, but it's just fascinating. By the way, he is happy now. If it's any consolation to you. He's also the one that explained the saying to me. I'm looking forward to all the other things he can teach me.
I smile, placing a book and a purple pen besides the lone pillar.
Beside, I think.
Yeah. Then I made my way down the cold hill, never to come back again.
Oh, wow. And going, you were overthinking things, you were distant, you were emotionally unavailable, so you sabotaged your own relationship, basically. And so I went and I fixed it. And also, I like that, though, going it's always darkest before the dawn, and I never really understood that. And then, having a partner, he explained this to me.
Right.
It's fascinating. It speaks to the relationship they have, as well as the portraits of them all around the house, you know? Look at
Or
that.
a new change.
And it's a different illustration. That's fascinating.
How pretty. But also sad.
And it looks like despair. Both times.
Like covering your face, I am just filled with hands and actions. Oh my god, that's it. That's one of the endings. Okay, so there really is, it seems like there's one place where you make a choice, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not our style. And honestly though, I will say that the story was so freaking enjoyable. Whoa.
It's okay, I don't think it shows up.
I hope not. I hope it was just so enjoyable that, like, it was worth it. Though, I will definitely encourage you all to please go play Pillars on Poppy Hills if you want to see the rest of the story.
My assumption is, since there was only that one spot with a choice in it, that your three endings are choose one, choose the other, or
choose neither.
Literally, choose nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm interested, and we'll probably on our own go and find out what those things are. But yeah, I would seriously be interested in what your thoughts on this game were, how it made you feel, if you played through it yourself, like what your emotional experience was. Like, this was very thoughtful and interesting, and I would be very interested to where it would go if the God of Nothing had reached out to the other person.
What I appreciated as a queer, I appreciated the fact that it didn't just go, I am sad because I am a gay.
Right?
And like, it was going like, actually, all the other things in my life have made my life difficult and sad and harsh, or whatever. I'm like, that's fascinating. I don't have anything against people going, here, let's talk about processing pain, or let me just dig into pain, because sometimes that's what you want to do. You don't always have to be trauma, dealing with your own trauma. Like, you don't have to be traumatized to deal with traumatic subjects. I'm like, this is really interesting, and I really like the characters. God, the tone of this game, the sounds, the music,
the visual design,
the movement is too deeply, just really charming, really brings you in, just like...
They used everything they did to really great effect.
Yes.
So to you, the creators of Pajama Party Projects, I think you've done an amazing, visual and tonal job. The pacing was really good. The story moved at a very even pacing. I never felt confused when it jumped from one day or one scene to another.
Right.
The closing of the acts, as it were, without them being separated that way, felt very clean.
Yep.
And I loved that. As well as, again, the specific choices of, the illustrations and how you use them, the various movements, the small changes, the character design, they were very good and distinctive. I also really, really enjoyed, again, the level of, depression and disconnection wasn't from I'm gay and therefore discriminated against. It was really in the case of the painter, just seeming to be loneliness. Of going,
Well, we might actually have to find out, because, it does
I say
seem
the painter's struggle isn't as clearly laid out.
No, it's not.
On the other hand, he does drop information about going, I'm not a very good artist, this is challenging and takes a long time for me.
Right.
And it doesn't seem to be, a huge part of his life. It seems to be a level of escapism, because it doesn't seem to connect to anything else that's going on.
Yeah.
But he also, as much as he's friendly and bright, he never talks about anything else. He doesn't have much of a life to speak of.
Right.
And with your researcher, there really is this strong experience of going, I have devoted my entire life to one thing and trying to be the best and the most at that one thing, and I have had nothing but mocking and ridicule and judgment and basically distancing from other people because of what I've chosen to focus on. Yeah. And there's something so profound and yet so sad about that,
Yeah.
And I think it's really powerful, but I also, there was, as far as the game goes, I appreciate the simplicity of it and that there was only one choice. But again, very much agree, not my style. I like them. It's too close to a kinetic novel for me personally.
I'm talking about, I would be fine playing this on my own. I have no qualms about that at all. Because the thing is that I like reading stories. It's
honestly, like reading a book.
The kinetic novels are fine. The big thing is just for the styling for the channel. Personally, we're just kind of we're trying to just have more options, more choices, more things to interact with.
And that is a really good point. On my own, I think I would love, 100% just love this all the way around. Would do all three choices, see all the endings, and be like, yes, let me recommend it to everyone I know. So that's fair. I am speaking in reference to the context of sharing the game with a lot of other people for the channel. There's not a lot to do in it, and while it is fun to interpret a story, it's very similar to just reading a book.
Though also at the same time too, I will say that one of the things I have been sort of frustrated about back and forth in regards to just interpreting a story is that you could actually basically assign the story themes or ideas, or basically let it get away with things that it shouldn't get away with, or that, like, it's just, you're covering up for poor writing, you're covering up for mistakes in, like, the story, like...
When you add a lot of world building and interpretation, it adds content.
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't just take, basically, the content that's there. On the other hand, like, if you do have a chance to talk to the creators and what their intention was, sometimes you can go, oh, the thing that I perceived that was that I thought might be being applied was your intention.
Yes, going, I picked up on this theme or this particular thing, but that's the difference between, like, doing, like literary criticism, as far as I understand, rather than just being like, you're just sort of entertaining yourself. You're trying to make it fun for you. And it's like, literary criticism, and as far as I understand, criticism in general is supposed to be about focused on what you're actually presented with. Period. What do they actually say? What are the visuals that are accompanied? The sounds, the choices, the pacing. Yeah.
I'm terrible at that because I add things and extrapolate so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But that's part of what makes things fun for me.
Well, and the thing is, it's much easier to do when you have a cool friend around.
It is.
So anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for Pillars on Poppy Hills. Again, we recommend we go and play this game. We got it on itch. We got it a part of the Queer Bundle for 2021. Yep. Thank you so much to the developer and creator for doing this project. This is amazing. I was actually really surprised that this suddenly ended in about 10 minutes, but that's totally okay. I'm like, this is great.
Such is the way of playing games blind.
Yes!
This is beautiful.
Absolutely. But yeah, if you would like to support our channel, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch and our Instagram, and also please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It actually helps us with the algorithm because it gives attention to our videos, and the algorithm goes, oh, there's activity. And so therefore, I will promote the video more based on how I understand other people understand it, since a lot of this is sort of through the grapevine.
I say, if you help people discover us, YouTube will also help. It's pretty cool.
Which is really neat. And again, like I said, if you want to help us more directly, you can also go check out our links. But other than that, I have been Scandal.
And if you do have a game that you want to like a visual novel that you would like us to play on Twitch live, you can feel free to suggest it to us. Or just for the channel itself. Again, also like the Ko-Fi and has things that you can sponsor if you want to that we're interested in playing. And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye.